G'day, guys, and welcome back to ADOS the Great YouTube channel. So, guys, I won't keep you too long on this one, but I just want to give you guys, an update on how last night's game went. I'm sure you all watched it and saw how good of a clash it was. It was insane. So, obviously, I've got a few points here, and then I'll go over some stats that we took from the game last night. I'll give you my man of the match and all that at the end of the video. But yes, let's talk about it. So, what an intense game it was last night. Like, obviously, these games are always pretty fiery, pretty intense. But this one, I think, was on another level. Like, there were like little fights breaking out all the time in this game. It was so good to watch. The passion behind both these teams was amazing. It was the best part of the game, in my opinion. Both sides wanted to win it. Both sides did everything they could to win it, and it was just so good to watch. So, first and foremost, I'd like to apologise to the Maori All Stars. I did not think you guys would come out and win that game. I actually had the Indigenous side winning that one by a lot in my prediction video. So, yes, I'd like to apologise about that, but the Maori side did win 16 points to 10. And we'll go over try scorers and stuff a bit later on in the video. Obviously, as I said at the start, I'm not going to make this that long of a video. I'm going to go over the points pretty quickly. But yeah, so Maori All Stars won 16 to 10. Very, very good clash, very physical game. But man, was it a good game of footy. Like, I think that went above most people's expectations. I thought that was a great game of footy. I think it was. I believe it. In my opinion, it was one from the forwards. Man, the Maori forwards were just insane. Joe Tarpany, Jazz Tavanga, James Fisher Harris all played amazingly. It was such a good game of football. Shout out to them. But yeah, I think the weather was a big downer. There was a lot of mistakes early on in the game, but I think the Maori forwards, as I stated before, won them the game. I think both on the offense and the defensive end. Defensively, I thought the Maori boys were really good, except for a few little instances like that David Fafita break, and there was a few other things that I thought they could have been better on. But like the Indigenous side were throwing everything at them last night, and they had they worked well together to stop the Indigenous boys' attack. So yes, very very happy for the Maori boys there. Let's just talk a bit about an Indigenous player, one that's played, I believe, his first ever professional rugby league game, and that is Shakai Mitchell, or Shaq Mitchell. The man, what a wonderful story. He's dropped so much weight. I believe from memory it was like 55 kilos. I don't know, don't quote me on that. But yes, amazing story. He had a good game too. For the limited minutes he had, he put up pretty good stats. I think he made 62 meters, 21 post contact meters. It was like 7 or 9 tackles. So in the short time he played, he was out there and he was wanting to prove that he's a good player. So very very proud of him. As a Rabbitohs fan and a huge Latrell Mitchell supporter, I'm so proud of Shaq for coming out and having such a good game. All right, a bit of on a sour note now. Jordan Rapid is looking like he could be in a bit of strife. I'm not 100% sure on what's going on there with him. I don't know if he's going to get suspended, but yeah, wasn't wasn't the prettiest of nights for Jordan Rapiner. But I wish him all the best. I know it was a very heated match, and he was doing his best to stop tries, and he bloody did that, but it could cost him and the Raiders some game time. Moving on, I think there were two pretty big game-changing moments. Obviously, the Josh Curran no try was a huge one. Shout out to Jordan Rapiner for stopping that one, because I'm pretty sure Josh Curran would have scored that try if it wasn't for Jordan Rapiner there. So Yeah, good try saver. That definitely changed the momentum of the game. Another thing that very much could have changed the momentum was Albert Kelly's 40-20. Now, I think Albert Kelly had an amazing game last night coming off the bench. He was everywhere. Brilliant, brilliant game. I think the Broncos, I believe he's the favourite to take that 5'8" spot next to Adam Reynolds. So we'll see how that goes. Although I do like that he came off the bench and had that kind of impact. So the Broncos could use him in that type of role. But we're not here to talk about the Broncos. We're here to talk about the Indigenous All Stars game. From start to finish, it was an insane game of football. That Josh Adokar play at the end of the game, like then they set it up to be a captain's challenge. Like obviously it wasn't going to be overturned or anything because it was a fair contest for the footy, but it was just an amazing ending. Like I don't think you could have written about that. What a game of football, and what a way to start off the 2022 NRL season with that banger of a game. Let's talk about the try scorers. So the first try came from Jesse Ramian. Obviously, that was the one from the David Fifita break and the one that put Jordan Rapiner in a bit of strife. So, yeah, shout out to Jesse Ramian, though. Good try there. He had a pretty good night as well. Cody Nikorima, the co-captain of the Maori All-Stars, came out, scored the second try. Isan Masters and Joseph Tarpany scored the next few, and then Tyrell Sloan finished it up. Disappointing end for the Indigenous All Stars. I think. You know that they. I don't know. Both teams played with so much passion that from the get go it could have gone either way. So I was just entertained from the first second of the game to the last second. Like it was a good game of football, high quality game of football, and I really enjoyed it. So we've discussed all that. Let's talk my man of the match. Now, a lot of people, like, obviously, there was a lot of players out there that had a brilliant game last night. Like, I think Clarkey had actually Isan Masters, I believe, was his pick for the player of the game. My player of the game was the same as the man of the match. I had this written down before the man of the match got awarded, and that was Joe Tarpany. Probably should have recorded it so I had the proof there. But yes, I thought Joe Tarpany was the standout of the game. A few honourable mentions I've got Nicho Hynes. I think he was brilliant. Personally, I think he was the best player on the Indigenous side. And then another Maori boy, and that is, where have I got him? Jazz Tavanga. I thought Jazz Tavanga was brilliant. He was up there leading the tackle count. He was offloading. He was just everywhere last night. I thought he deserved a shout out as well. He was brilliant. He does a lot of that dirty work that you don't see most players do. So, yeah, got to give a shout out to the man Jazz Tavanga. But yes, Joseph Tarpany is my player of the game. And let's just go over his stats. So, scored one try, almost got a double. Tackles, he made 31 tackles, 125 metres gained. There was 7 tackle breaks, 3 offloads, and he finished the game with 76 fantasy points. So very, very good hit out for Joseph Tarpany. Very proud of him. I think the Raiders are going to be stoked with the performance he had tonight because he was a standout. If we go into the stats leaders, meters gained for both teams, we've got 156 for Jordan Rapana from the Maori All-Stars and 123 from David Fifita on the Indigenous All-Stars. Tackles. There's a 3-way tie for the Maori All-Stars. So Aaron Clark actually was up there. That surprised me. Jazz Tavanga and Britton Nikora all made 37 tackles. Ruben Cotter for the Indigenous All-Stars are making 39, topping the tackle count for the night. Tackle breaks was a tie, or a 3-way tie technically for the most, between Joe Tarpany, Jordan Rapana, and Andrew Fifita, who all made 7 tackle breaks. We move on to the offloads. Again, it was a 4-way tie for the top there with Brendan Nakora and Joe Tarpany, both with 3 for the Maori All-Stars and with 3 on the Indigenous All-Stars. Jesse Ramian, and Nico Hines. So yes, very, very, very entertaining game of football. I was stoked by the efforts both teams put in last night. Once again, apologies to the Maori All Stars. I didn't give you a chance. I do apologise. I didn't think you guys would come out and play the way you did. So full credit to you boys because you're amazing. Yeah, that's pretty much going to wrap it up. I've gone 10 minutes now. I thought I'd only go about 4. But yes, I just wanted to give you my insights of how last night's game went. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. I definitely enjoyed making it for you. Thank you all so much for your support on this channel. Go and check out the Opinionated Aussies podcast. First episode drops tomorrow. I hope to see you there. Thank you all so much once again. And as always, guys, I will see you in the next one. Thanks, guys.